Yo, what is going on, Raiders, the Boss here, and welcome to the next episode in BTB. Today the Stronghold 9 players will fight their first matches, and I'm pretty excited to see how they are performing compared to the Stronghold 10 players from the last episode, where the best one did 51% damage on my base. So there's definitely a lot of space left to get more damage on my base. Rules are still the same like in the previous episode, no dragons are allowed and no buffs to make it a little harder for all the players. And the base which you can currently see is the one they'll be fighting against. Honestly, I've designed this base completely new, so their attacks will be the first tests for this base, so maybe traps need to be rearranged, but we'll see about that later. What I really like about this base is that the armies of the enemies have only 4 spots to enter this base, since the edges are covered with some more walls. Through that I can very well predict where the troops of the players will go, and I'm preparing those entrances with my traps to kill his marauders as fast as possible. Also, the long range troops need to be placed careful, since they will split up from the marauders if they are deployed blindly. Then also, the core of the base is very dangerous because the dragon towers and the crystal spires are all standing there and will make sure that the players will lose their marauders very fast if the healing barrels are not used in the right moments. That being said, let me share with you now the names of the 2 players in the Stronghold 9 group.
Perfect Indian versus Zeus.
Also, let's have a quick look at the tournament table, and so far we got only 1 player for the final, and I can only recommend to you to have a careful look at the skills of each player, because I have something coming up also for you if you don't get a chance here, which is gonna make it important to know the players well to get also a reward in the final show. But more infos about that will follow in the next episode. Alright, first player is gonna be Zeus, so let's head into the fight.
Beat the boss. Round 1.
Here comes our first player of this episode, Zeus, and he's starting off with a small army of marauders and cannoneers to take care of that cannon on the bottom. Then further on the right side he deploys the second wave of marauders with 2 healers who are getting supported by another group of cannoneers, so he wants to make a big push into the center of this base and use also some bombardiers, which are more or less a waste of troop camp space because my sky harpoons will take them out easily. Also, his group of marauders runs straight into the hot area where all my traps are standing, which means that he loses some important forces already at this point. However, here he starts with a huge group of cannoneers now, in my opinion an attempt to clear the bottom area, and he got very lucky that the shock rod trap didn't take out more of those ones, but he didn't pay a lot of attention to them, and through that the healing barrel comes too late and the crystal spire was able to take almost all of them out. So now he's stuck at the walls, and it's gonna be very close from this point onwards, because he has only a few troops left on the battlefield and he's still far away from his first and second star. Also, now the raiders come out of the bunkers and this fight is all but over, but he's still able to take down that stronghold, which gives him 1 star, but the rest of the troops are no threat. That means we only need to wait for the healers to die. In the end we got here 48% damage, but keep in mind he's just a Stronghold 9 player, and I definitely like the strategy to approach this base in 3 waves. If he would have paid more attention to the placement of the barrels, he most likely would have gotten also the 2nd star. Returning to the tournament table, we can now log in the results, and then we are ready to head straight into the second attack of Perfect Indian.
Beat the boss. Round 2.
So now our next player of this episode is approaching, and he also goes for the cannon on the bottom, but with a bombardier who's getting taken out quite easily. But this time he goes for the left side, uses a berserk barrel on the bombardiers who can take out that crow's nest, and afterwards they're able to blow that bertha up as well. Then he uses his marauders army to start a big push, but they will get killed also in a few seconds by the traps, which are standing in that hot area. Also, the placement of the cannoneers is similar to the previous player, so this might become a pretty close battle in the end. What he needs to do now is to pay close attention to the placement of his barrels, since he moves now towards the crystal spires, which he does, but unfortunately for him the cannoneers of the upper group move away from the stronghold now, so he needs to rely on the group at the bottom, which is still stuck at the walls due to the fog barrel. However, my raiders will split now the groups of marauders from the cannoneers, and that means they lose its cover, when they start to attack the Dragon Tower, and with such a small amount of cannoneers remaining, he loses his chance to get 1 star by destroying the Stronghold. And now we need to wait until the remaining troops will get taken out, and with only 36% damage done here, it looks like he's gonna lose against his competitor, but we still got some time remaining in this fight, and maybe he's able to do a miracle, who knows. A lot of things can happen. So to gather some more percentages, he's using archers, and he only needs 13% damage more to win here. I think one issue here was that he tried to take down the Stronghold in one big push, which caused that his army spread out so far from each other, and therefore the troops had to face so many towers at the same time. So in the end, he'll get here 39% damage, and when we return to the tournament table, ID Zeus got 48% damage, and Perfect Indian would have needed therefore 10% damage to win this one. This means we got here our second player for the big final match, who is called ID Zeus. In the next episode we'll see again 2 Stronghold 10 players, and like before we'll see another base layout for that. If you missed the first episode, you can watch it now by clicking on that thumbnail. Don't forget to subscribe for more and to drop a like if you've enjoyed it. This is it from me, have a great raid, peace out.